Hello and welcome to this new section on regulatory compliance and risk management and the first lecture of that in this course, Mastering Revenue Cycle Management. So in this particular set of lectures in this section, we will give you an in-depth view of how to ensure regulatory compliance and how to manage your risks to implement RCM excellence in your organization. And we will begin this lecture by talking about how to stay up to date with regulations to ensure regulatory compliance. So, what do you think? What needs to be done to ensure regulatory compliance and manage risk? Any thoughts? So, there are three things you need to do broadly and at the top level. First is to stay up to date with regulations, where you need to keep RCM staff informed about the latest healthcare regulations, payer guidelines, and billing codes. And this will ensure compliance and reduce the risk of claims rejection or legal penalties. Second thing would be to conduct regular audits, perform regular internal as well as external audits, basically to ensure that RCM processes are complying with legal and payer specific requirements. Now, this reduces the risk of fines and helps maintain the integrity of the revenue cycle. And third thing to be would be to use analytics in regular reporting to identify potential compliance risk or issues before they escalate, mitigate them, and addressing these risks early will prevent costly mistakes and ensure smooth revenue flow. So these are the three things you need to do to ensure regulatory compliance and manage risk. So let's take a look at how to stay update with regulations. So how do you think you can stay up to date with regulations? See, we'll look at these things, but before we get into how to keep up to date with the latest healthcare regulations, let's understand that keeping RCM's revenue cycle management staff informed about the latest regulations, payer guidelines, and billing codes is important, is essential. Why? Because they will help you reduce the claim denials, ensure compliance, and maintain efficient workflow. Now, how can you do all of these things? Let's take a look at that. So, first thing you need to do is to set up regular trainings and workshops, right? Monthly or quarterly trainings, host regular training sessions to discuss recent changes in regulation, payer guidelines, and billing codes. Incorporate real life scenarios to show how these changes affect daily tasks. Uh, Bring in external experts or representatives from payers to speak on regulatory updates or payer specific requirements. These sessions will offer insights and answer specific staff questions. Also, you need to use case studies and practice scenarios to help staff apply new coding and billing information, and this can enhance their understanding and retention of the complex updates. So, set up regular training sessions and workshops in this manner. Second thing would be to implement an internal knowledge hub or intranet, right? So where you need to basically you can do this by creating an online portal, a centralized resource library or intranet page that serves as one-stop shop for all regulatory updates, payer guidelines, coding changes, and training materials. Anyone wanting to update can go to this and get updated. Set up an automatic alert on the portal for any new regulation updates or coding changes so that staff can easily access and review them. And thirdly, add a frequently asked questions section and allow staff to post questions for quick answers. This will encourage engagement and ensure information is shared across the team. So implement an internal knowledge hub or intranet like this. Then distribute monthly newsletters and updates. You can do this by condensed summaries where you include a summary of recent changes to codes, payer guidelines, and compliance requirements. You highlight key changes and how they will impact daily lives, daily tasks. Include recent examples showing how recent updates impact RCM processes, claim submission, and billing accuracy. So, case study example is a good way. Provide links to detailed information government sites, payer websites, and professional organizers like CMS and AMA so that staff can explore topic further as needed. Provide access to online courses and certifications, and this you can do in three ways. You can enroll staff in certification programs such as Certified Professional Coder CPC or Certified Revenue Cycle Specialist, which provide updates on healthcare regulations and billing. Provide access to industry webinars, online courses, and e-learning platforms focused on healthcare regulation, billing compliances, and coding standards. And encourage staff to join relevant associations like AHIMA, AAPC, etc., that regularly release educational content, guidelines, and regulatory updates. So provide access to online courses and certification in this manner. Establish a team for monitoring and disseminating updates. And there you could do three things. Form a team with RCM dedicated to within RCM dedicated to monitoring regulatory updates, payer guidelines, and coding changes. And this team can regularly review changes and provide summaries to the staff. Update meetings is another way. Hold brief meetings to go over new updates, explain their implications, and answer questions from staff members. And designate members from the team to serve as point of contacts for regulatory questions, ensuring all staff have access to it for immediate clarification. Encourage participation in professional conferences. Allow RCM staff to attend industry conferences or workshops where they can learn directly from experts without with all the knowledge that they want to get about recent regulatory and coding updates. Have attendees share their learnings with the rest of the team on what is this called lunch and learn sessions or informal presentations so that the entire team benefits from the latest insights. Use real-time alerts and software solutions. One of the things you can do is to automate updates in RCM software. Implement softwares that automatically update payer rules, billing codes, and compliance checks. Many RCM and coding software provide regular updates and they update their systems to reflect the regulatory changes. Set up notification within the system to alert staff with real-time notifications when an error arises due to outdated information such as incorrect code. This will encourage immediate learning and correction. And built-in compliance checks by using software with integrated compliance alerts and claim validation procedures features to help staff follow current payer guidelines and regulations during claim processing. Schedule regular audits and feedback sessions that we will talk in more details as we go forward. Conduct periodic audits, right, of claims, billing codes, and compliance adherence to identify areas where additional training may be needed. Review denial patterns. Look at get feedbacks on error, coding errors, or issues related to regulation changes to provide constructive feedback and address gaps. And do have these continuous improvement meetings where you host follow-up meetings with staff where they can ask questions, receive feedback, and clarify about any uncertainties around the recent changes. So schedule regular audits and feedback meetings like this. Encourage collaboration with cross-functional teams, right? There you have payer relations collaborations, have regular meetings with the payer relations or contracting teams to get the latest insights on payer specific guidelines or anticipated changes. Coordinate with compliance and legal teams to ensure that RCM processes align with both federal and state regulations. So legal and compliance collaboration, and organize quarterly interdepartmental sessions with clinical, financial, and compliance staff to discuss regulation impact and align processes. So, by implementing these strategies that we have talked about in this lecture, RCM teams, US team will have continuous access to latest information and that can help you stay compliant, reduce denials, and maintain the financial health of your organization. So what do we do next? So having looked at how to stay up to date with regulations, we will now look at how to conduct regular meetings. That's what we talked in one of the things in this lecture, right? So that's what we will do in the next lecture. So thank you so much for watching this first lecture on ensuring regulatory compliance and risk management in this course, Master in Revenue Cycle Management. I hope you're continuing to learn new things, continuing to enjoy, and I do look forward to see you again in the next lecture. Please feel free to message me if you have any questions. I'll be happy to answer your questions, and do download the PDF file to take a look at anything that you need to.